Now recording.
Okay, let's begin.
Yeah, smooth. It's recording.
Yeah.
So we have introduction. I'm gonna have an introduction about SouLove. Then after that, myself and Ivy will introduce about SouLove, and Ivy will introduce herself. Then after that, Jessie will introduce herself and her product. Then we'll come to you. Okay?
Right.
Okay, our show start.
Yeah.
Just put to mute first. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our show time. This show is hosted by me, Grace, and Jessie, but today we have Ivy to join us. I'm the founder of SouLove Singapore, and this community, we actually send out quotes, stories, learning notes, and comments. So if you're interested, you may join SouLove Singapore and join us by sending your stories and quotes. We're trying to encourage each other, and we share our thoughts. And SouLove is actually about me, my soul, my family, my community, and my world. Seeding happiness, living in moment, developing a health, wealth, and rewarding relationships. Today, I'm happy to have my partner to join me, Ivy. So she will share about her experience and what she's involved. She will be the guest for the coming Sunday. Thank you, Ivy.
Yeah, thanks, Grace, for introducing me. Hi, I'm Ivy. I'm Grace's partner in SouLove. I'm a practicing workplace coach. Basically, I do workplace consulting and coaching. I help individuals and corporations to find the motivations for employee to have a fulfilling career at the workplace.
Thank you, Ivy. Camera over to you, Jessie.
Hi. I'm the distributor of new skin product. So actually, this is my career and business that I've established since 2017. So each week in share time, we'll introduce a new skin product. And if you're interested, you can PM me. Or should you wish to start a business with me with no capital involved, you may PM me for further discussion. Yeah. Okay, so the product for the day. Today's product is very powerful. Okay, nowadays we can go out already, right? Like phase 2, we can meet friends. But especially for there's one concern. Every time we put down our mask, lipstick gone. So today I'm going to introduce lipstick that has actually long-lasting. There are actually several functions lah. Okay, so first of all, let me introduce the ingredients. It has vitamin E that softens and moisturizes the lips. And then we have beeswax and avocado oil, which actually protects our skin. Yeah. Okay. Then the best part is it's kiss-proof. So that means you put on already. You put on your lipstick, and then it won't stick onto the mask. Okay. So this is the one. It's called Power Lips. Okay. They have 15 colors. Okay. I'm going to show you what you can do. And it's very long lasting. Okay, actually I did a demo this afternoon, but if you can see, it's still there a bit the stain. Okay, and I have with me 3 more other brands. Do I mention the brand? All very atas brand now, okay? With the C one, the C brand, the M brand, and the E brand. Okay, so I just want to show you it's very long lasting. Okay, so this is the brand that I have with me, my own brand, as in New Skin. Okay, so after a while, you see what it will do. Okay, say for example, sometimes right when you eat, right, we'll erase. I mean, we'll clean our mouth, right? Okay, and you see this one. That's the difference. Oh, can see? Okay, the rest are all gone. Okay, and then when I do this, that is kiss proof. You see the tissue? It's still white in color. Okay, so it has long lasting effect. Yeah, so next time for ladies, you want to kiss your boyfriend, you want to kiss your husband, don't worry, they won't have this stain here. Okay, so that's the benefit. And
Do you have the price for this lipstick?
yes, I want to tell you. Okay, the ingredients I told you, right? There's avocado oil, bee wax, and vitamin E. Okay, but it only costs $27. Yes, I tried it on myself. Okay, and I'm very sure all the ladies will like it. Grace already got one today. So if she gets one, means it's very, it must be a very amazing product.
From brand.
Yeah. Okay, so I already mentioned it's only $27. So grab now quickly because some colors are already out of stock. Yeah. Those who are keen, you can PM me. Still here. See. Okay, back to you, Grace.
Thank you, Jessie. Today event, we have someone special. He's a friend. He's a good friend of mine. And we tend to talk a lot in terms of his future thinking and his future plan. So I thought of maybe it's wise actually to have him in our show to share his thoughts and share with us about his past, how he actually started to be a public speaker. And you know how famous he is? Yeah, he is very famous, right? Andrew, over to you, Andrew. I believe a lot of people actually know Andrew, and feel free to ask any questions, post it in Facebook, and we will be able to relate to him. Okay,
Yeah.
over to you, Andrew.
Thank you very much.
Share with us about how you step into as a public speaker.
Okay, thanks very much for having me. Well, don't know whether I'm famous or not because there's always somebody out who don't.
You are.
Very humble. You're very humble.
It's well, let me bring you guys further back. I would say 5 different careers. I started off after my army days. I was a civil servant for 6 years, 87 to 93. And then 93 to 98, I was in retail. I was in this company called Kodak. So for those of you who have never taken a picture using negative, it means you're too young. All right. If you have taken a picture using negative, then you're old enough. 98, I was in retail. I learned a lot about handling different customers. And then 98, age 97, 98, there was Asia financial crisis. So I switched again. I went to do MICE. I went to do a lot of conferences, exhibitions, and so on. So I went from retail to go to B2B. And that is where I learned a lot of uh, 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 multinational. That was a good time where I served a lot of corporate customers. And then in 2005, I I went to tender for a very interesting contract called Romancing Singapore, started by Claire Chang. And I miraculously I won the contract. So that's a story for another day. I won the contract, and then I become a matchmaker. If you Google my name on YouTube, you'll find a lot of my events and my channel station report and so on. And I think that's how I actually built my personal brand. That was pre-social media days. So after 4 years in 2009, I felt that with the emergence of social media, it's going to overrun my business. So I exited it and then I went into training and development. So true enough, today, right, nobody appreciates the agency. Nobody bother you see, because today you have social media, you have Tinder, you have so many things, right? So this is where I am now. After 10 years, I'm still doing it. So usually about every 6 years, yeah, I will see a transformation. So the first thing I want to share with everyone is that life is only the name. Transformation is the game.
Mm.
Let me say again. Life is just the name, but transformation is the real deal. It's the game.
Well said, well said.
Yeah.
You are always, if you don't transform, you will find that you literally be left behind, and more so right now. So I always feel that we are all gifted to do many things. You are not just gifted to do one thing, you're gifted to do many things. So you are who you are, and your what you do is just a part of you. So you can keep on going, you can keep on doing anything. As long as you are adaptive, you can always succeed. So how I started was uh, uh, actually it was from my early 20s. I began to discover I have this gift of speaking in front of people without any fear. Nobody taught me. I was just calm, collected. In my army days, that's how I stand out. So, but I never thought that that could make me money. So um, that was something that I know I'm good at. And every stage of my different career, I build upon it. So during my social media, during my dating agency days, I actually organized very huge event. I remember I ever booked Lido, the whole the 500-seater, that was before GB, all these people comes on. That was one of the biggest theater. I booked the whole theater. I found people inside with an icebreaker, and then we have movies. So we did everything, and that was fun. So um, when I started, I was already 43. 43. So it was like, wow, this kind of career switch at that time was unheard of. And I was one of the oldest guy who took my ACTA cert. Uh, but fortunately, a lot of people gave me a chance because maybe I'm older. They give me the chance to share my experience. And actually, training works very well for older people. The older you are, the better it becomes. You just have to make sure you know technology. Which comes to my next point. Technology is no longer a luxury. It's no longer just for the IT people. It's a basic thing.
Yeah.
It's just like if you need to operate a computer, if you need to operate an iPad, you need to operate your phone, you must know tech. This is tech. We are all cyber, you know. You know what cyber? Cyber means half man, half machine. We're all half man, half machine, no? Half woman, half machine. Let's face it, you don't have your phone, you don't have a computer, you feel that you've been cut off, right?
Yeah.
Precisely.
So maybe I talk a little bit about how I feel about the future. 5 things that I see in the future. Number one is instead of worrying about the future of our job, let's think about the job of the future. There's two different things, you know. The
Mm.
future of a job is always uncertain. But if you think about a job of the future, it's being created right now. Right now. So instead of a customer service officer, now you have a customer experience designer. You actually design customer experience. So you're not just servicing, you are not just responding to their complaint, responding to their request. You are designing the experience so that you have less complaint, you have less people who come and say, hey, this is not working. Hey, how do you do this? So you must understand that you need to foresee what the work of the future is all about. That's number one.
Mhm.
Number two is that I think in 20 years' time, we'll all be super freelancer. So Ivy is in the coaching
Mm.
arena. I think in the future, people will be on many, many short-term contracts.
Yeah.
They will have multiple skills and they can jump from one domain to another domain, one
Yeah.
industry to another industry, having a 1 to 3 months contract, okay, and making much more than people who have been serving 5 to 10 years. During that time, you'll be considered long. If you serve 5 years, it's considered long.
Mm.
Okay, because and if you're a leader today, you must hear it that you must be able to develop your people, if not they'll leave. Third thing I think is that there is an emergence of a new batch of speakers. Who are they? They are subject matter expert. Because today every company will do a webinar. Last time you used to wait for somebody to organize the event and you pray, you hope, you tell donkey and wait for people to invite you to speak. Right now you don't need. Now you just organize your own and you can speak. All right, even no audience, you can still record your own video, and actually you can improve leaps and bounds just by watching yourself, just like what I'm doing. So if you're a trainer, a speaker, a facilitator, you just have to be mindful that now your competition comes from ordinary people. And that's the future. Number four is that I don't think we will see a lot of on-job training in the future. I think it's on-the-spot training, because next time the trainers will be chatbots. Okay, so for example, if you're not trained to do a presentation, and in the next 1 hour you need to give a presentation to your big bosses, and you'll be talking to the chatbot and say, I am nervous. And my topic is this, my audience is this, my slides are this. Can you give me some coaching? And the chatbot will be able to generate an answer for you.
Wow. So futuristic.
Yeah, it's a futuristic learning. Now, you have to imagine who programmed all this. You must be the trainer.
Human. Yeah.
You must be the trainer. So if you are a trainer and you do not know how to talk to a machine, you will not be the one putting your wisdom in that machine. So on-job training will be superseded by on-the-spot training. I think number five is the scariest. It's the integration of man and machine. So right now, AI, well, artificial intelligence is still in a very narrow definition. So AI is very narrow. So for example, IoT is IoT, right? You handle all the smart home. Autonomous vehicle is autonomous vehicle. Conversation, AI is all chatbot. Robotics, I'm all robotics. Imagine one day they all mesh together because of 5G, and 5G is going to make everything possible. When 5G happened, right, you know that day when 5G is so popular, so rampant, it means nobody need to have a hard disk. When you record a video, you save it on cloud, it's faster than now save on hard disk. So next time, life is real life. There's no lag. You know what is happening now in F1 in Austria, which is tomorrow. I can just use my phone and I can watch. All right, and I don't even need to save the video. I just need to send the link to anyone. Anyone can on link instantly, all accessible. That means what? That means to say that you need to learn how to distribute your information in a very effective way. And social media is just a baby step. There are so many different ways to distribute your content. So for a lot of us who are speakers, trainers, consultants, facilitator, coaches, the future is unknown. I think we had to work on these few areas. Of course, there are many areas, so please share to me. But this five is really what I'm passionate about. And this has always been the story of my life for this COVID, these 3 months. Uh, Before I stop, I know I talk a lot. I just have one last thing to share. That is, before COVID, I always think that we should market our brand,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Yep.
during COVID, we had to brand our marketing. This is a time not for you to be your personal branding. It's too late. You have to brand the way you do things. That means to say, if people did not know you before, now they find even harder to see you or even hear about you because everyone is doing it. It's human beings are very funny. It's just like stocks and shares. When the price is lower, nobody buys.
Mm-hmm.
Price is very high. Everybody rush in and buy like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So
Lack of knowledge and information.
yeah, human being never learn that
Mm.
early mover always have the advantage.
Yeah.
So right now is a time to reset. You can move early in other areas. Why not you spend your time instead of building a personal branding, go and find the next biggest problem to solve. Find the next biggest problem to solve, and by solving that problem, you are building a personal brand. Don't build a personal brand for the sake of building personal brand. I think now is a time to find a solution for a possible problem that nobody can ever foresee right now, but you see it, and by giving the solution, you are branding yourself. So that's why I say now you have to brand your marketing. Yeah, that's it for the future.
But what is the fastest way to actually brand the marketing way?
Okay, there are a few ways to answer your question. There
Mm.
is a negative way and there's a positive way. Negative,
Okay, yeah, probably can share about negative. At least we can,
you
yeah,
can,
brainstorm.
you can attack the government. That will be the fastest way to make the whole Singapore new. All right, I'm serious. Number the
It's a
second
good time now, right?
the second the second way is to spread some fake news. You will be famous also. All right, and the third thing is to do something nobody dare to do. You will also be famous. But I don't have to do all this. So if you go far, you have to start now. Even to go fast, you can do anytime.
Okay.
So
But
even
this is like not a prepared way of doing the marketing.
yeah. So right now there's no more rules. All the rules have to be challenged, and that is what people call new normal. This word new normal, it's not new. It has always been like this. It's just that before COVID, it was slow. Now,
Mhm.
20 times faster. So one day in COVID under circuit breaker, it's like 1 week in the past.
Yeah.
In circuit breaker is 1 month in the past. So we are already 3 months ever since we had the 7th of April when we had our first CB. It's
Yep.
3 months, right? In a few days time.
Yep.
Imagine it's equivalent to 1.5 years. So
Oh,
in 3 months, if you did not grow by 1.5 years compared to normal times, you are not growing fast enough. So that's what I'm saying. If you took circuit breaker as a break, then it's really sad for you. Okay.
mm,
If you're hoping that life will be normal, it won't. You look at Wuhan, no
mm,
go shopping until now. Nobody go shopping, and China did a very good job to lock down everything, right? But
mm.
people are now getting used to staying at home. They are fearful of going online. And if you look at the history, right, 1920 Spanish fly, every 100 years there's a pandemic. The second wave, it's always worse than the first wave. And now you're seeing US, now you're seeing Korea, now you're seeing
Yeah.
China, seeing India, even Indonesia. All second wave is very bad. Singapore will not have any exception. Okay, I believe that after the election, there may be another round of CB.
So what? We have to prepare the worst.
And I think some ministers already say CB will be a way of life.
Yeah, likely until the end of the year or maybe till next year.
So if you think that life will go back to normal, you won't exactly go back to normal. We have to create what is normal for us. Yeah, so that's what I see in the future.
Yeah, but that just now you mentioned is about the negative of the marketing. How about the positive of the marketing?
Okay, so positive way to market. Number one is to market empathy. I think today you have to market how much you care for your customers. That means, let me tell you an example. Let me give you an example. Can you send out an email to your client and ask them, what can I do for you? They are
Mm,
not looking at buying new things. However,
mm,
whatever coupon you send to them is no use.
yep.
And what can I do for you?
Education. I only can think of is education will be the another way.
It can be anything. It can be exposure. They
Mm,
don't vision. Sometimes they need exposure. So if you know of another conference that needs a panelist, then
mm-hmm.
find your client to go there. And that's what I mean. If you're not a connector before, you got no context, then you are almost of no value to people because you don't know who is doing what. You don't know what is good. You don't know where it's happening.
Yeah, precisely.
You can't really help anyone. So number one is to market empathy. Number two is I think you have to forge a new way of looking at business. I give you an example. In the past, right? I will happily go to my client's place, do my thing, and walk off, right?
Mm.
Because they pay just to speak or train. Now it's different. Now I have to tell them exactly how am I going to do my webinar.
Mm.
Take care of their registration,
Mm.
create landing pages. I have to have really good online engagement. After
Mm.
the event, I had to print out the report to tell them who came late, who went off early, uh,
Oh,
and a
okay.
letter, okay? And then I still had to be awesome in delivering what I'm supposed to do. So instead of one thing, now you do 6 things for the same pay you had before, if you're lucky. So what does it mean? It means that in order for you to be awesome, you need to dig deeper. I give you another example. Last time in the normal conference panel, the moderator only asked questions.
Yeah.
And then there is this technical assistant behind showing all the survey, all the multimedia, and so on. Today you do everything. Today you handle the intro, you handle the caption, you handle the comments, you handle
Yeah,
the
precisely.
everything.
Multitasking.
You interview your guest. Okay,
Mm.
yeah. So what does it mean? It just means that this is a new way of work. You have to forge a new. You have to become a project manager.
Mm.
Okay,
And you learn more. You have to learn more. You have to take
learn
advantage of technology.
and apply quickly. Not
Yeah.
learn. No, nah, maybe not now lah. I'm still not.
Mm.
Just have to do it.
He's
Okay.
trying to hint me.
There are many times when I do something, it's actually the first time I'm doing it, but I don't need to tell people it's the first time doing it because the minute you tell people the first time doing it, however good you are, you'll be judged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So why not you tell them I've always been doing it? Of course, not lying until the sky is dropping down, but you have to tell yourself, I am very confident I can do it for you. So you practice like crazy. You practice 10, 20 times at home if you need to. You just have to get that right. Okay.
Mm.
So number 3 is every business has 4 different components right now
Yeah.
as I see. Number 1 is your innovation, your thought process. How
Mm.
much to put into it? That is at night you think about your business and so on.
Mm.
The second part is the delivery. Whether you're a speaker, you go and do training. You're a coach, you can do coaching. If you're a counselor, you do counseling. If you are a distributor, you go and do recruitment. You can do demo. All these are external you can see, but that doesn't make your business. That is only the external part of it. The third part of it is marketing, and that is the biggest chunk because 80% of my time is spent on marketing. The work is very simple. What's so hard about delivering 2 hours of webinar? It's nothing. I know the topic. Even if I'm close my eyes, I can still do it. So at the end of the day, my job is to get the seats. Sorry, is to get the bumps on the seats. Is to get people to come, not to deliver my stuff. That is not important. Marketing is more important than that. That's the component. The fourth component is at the back end, way behind your automation. Do you
Mm.
know how to use technology to automate auto respond? Do you know how to collect email and send them the right email every time? Do you know how to get people when they go to your website, they didn't do anything, but they stay for 1 minute? Can you trigger off a response to your system and send him an email or remind him to come back to your site? Hey, you actually select my e-commerce product, but you didn't check out. Can you come and check out? All these are things that you need to think about. If not, you'll be putting a lot of money on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to market yourself, you need to think about these few things that I actually share about. I leave it to you to put this together because that is how I think it's like a mesh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you have to figure out which part is for you, which part is not for you.
Mm.
Actually,
Yeah.
have you thought of any webinars that you're going to, you're going to sort of kind of guide people about this marketing? It's like you already have the thoughts and
Okay.
you have this plan.
So my experience is this: training is the worst possible way to change people. Never change people. Okay, training never change people. So if you need, you have to do coaching. All right, like I think Ivy, you all
Yeah.
do a lot of coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching people, training, it's being seen as like an incentive to a lot of organization. The best people go for training. It's
Mm.
because the lowest performer need to go for training. But it's always the best performer. I want to go training. I want to earn it. They get better. And people below, they get worse and worse because they didn't go for training. They didn't have a chance to do so. So training don't change. You need, I think you need to take them by the hand and show them how to do it. LPA, learn, practice, apply. So we are short of practice and apply. We must always let them have a chance to practice. Learning is a fun part. Development is the difficult part. What does it take to learn? Just learn. What's so difficult? Is practice and apply. I think what people are lacking, if you're a leader, you need to listen to this. Your guys lead practice and application. It's your job to coach them as a manager. In fact, a manager's role is not just to lead, right? Last time it's manage, then lead. Now it's really to coach. If you don't coach, you will never be able to unlock the potential of people. You will never have a successor. If you don't coach, your people always be depend on you. You know something? The more capable you are, the worse it is. Have you ever had this kind of? Maybe I think Ivy, you can maybe I don't know whether you agree with me. When you go to
Mm.
any organization in any department, when the boss is super performer,
Yeah.
it usually is very lousy performer.
Again, I can't hear you.
So when the leader is a super performer,
Mm-hmm.
he's the Iron Man. He can play well alone, right?
Mm.
His team will not be very, very proficient. His team
Uh-huh.
very high performance. But if the
Due
boss
to
is
mindset.
a performer, then his team are very on the ball because boss don't know what to do. We better recover us. So the team become very, very good performer. And we have to look at it squarely. Is leadership really overrated? Look at America.
Mm.
They without a leader for 4 years, they can still function, right? Can they function? Of course they can function. So I think at the end of the day, leaders, you need to take a bold step. Yeah. So I know in case you ask about marketing, but I think uh, teaching people something is not solution. Is coaching them how to do it.
So
Yeah.
how do they identify to find a right coach for themselves?
Uh, Coaching is just one good intervention. Facilitation is another one. I think today we have a lot of webinar, but we don't have a lot of online facilitation.
Mm.
Mm.
That is lacking because to do online facilitation is more complicated than webinar. So I'll give you an example. Jesse, just now you show product, right? Right. So imagine if you do a facilitation, okay, and you make people talk about their struggle of using lipstick, the ideal size they have, and the colors they have, and you let everybody contribute to your content. And you all you need to do is just to facilitate. But you channel the facilitation to a point that it actually drive the point all prepared by you. And the people suddenly realize, oh, actually this is what we need, these four things. But actually your product has okay, that is the best webinar style I can imagine. Is to make people have a convergent thinking that hey, I think we found the solution. We have 5 products to test, and then we think that brand N is the best. Okay, so this is another way. So you think about it. Instead of doing a webinar, doing a showcase, why not do a facilitation? Why not ask everyone to bring out your lipstick
Mm.
and all do a test together,
Mm.
right? Now you're doing only your own test. You're a trainer. You're only doing your own test. If everybody do the test, everybody show the hand, and tell me you have 49 hands, better than one hand, right? 49 hand all gone, right? And yours remain. Now that is awesome, isn't it?
Wow, thank you. I learned something today. Yay! Glad you're here.
Yeah. So I just feel that we can do the same thing differently. Just add
Mm.
in a bit of creativity, and you'll be very different. Yeah. When
Mm.
Yeah.
generic name, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So now you know why people don't pay for webinar, right? Because
Yeah.
everyone, right, right, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
William, you have any questions?
Andrew, thank you very much. You gave a lot of points, and you are absolutely right. You key in a lot of keywords, and more so during this period of time, why human matter more.
Mm.
In fact, many people didn't realize that with technology, human is not important. There's been proven Harvard study that because of technology, you need human more. And you're absolutely right, Andrew. You mentioned that about called retentions in facilitation.
Mm.
It's called a pyramid of retention. The pyramid of retentions, you got to be not into the passive learning, but the active learning. Active learning involve the demonstration, discussion, practice, and even you give a simple example of demonstrating.
Mm.
Many make a difference versus one.
Mm.
And from there on, you're consolidating, and the keyword is called collaborative
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
or integrative thinking.
Yes.
And Andrew, awesome on that. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel that I may not use the right terminology that a lot of L&D people use, but I think the principle behind is that you need to integrate a lot of social proof with facilitative learning, collaborative solutions, and then your buy-in will be tremendous. Yeah, yeah, because there are so many noises out there. A lot of people are just trying to do a lot of things. So we have to be different, and we can still do webinar, but in a different way. In fact, let's not call it webinar. Let's call it online facilitation, and everybody get involved. Yeah, then and then they can learn a new thing. They can learn a lot of new tools. There are fantastic brainstorming tools that is available. Is amazing. Yeah, I think this app called groupmap.com is quite good. Take a look at it. It has a lot of facilitation. Yeah, I'm so sorry to all the facilitators out there who are listening to me. If you don't believe technology can help you, all right, then it's going to be tough. Yeah, but I don't blame them. Every industry, right, they have some resistance to accepting technology or integrating technology. Every industry has it. They just don't believe that industry can replace human. Look, yes, machine cannot replace human, but there are some things machine can do better than human, like speed. You can never fight them. So you try to be faster than a machine. We are stupid. We are really stupid, right? No, okay, machine. Just try running can you try running faster than a car? You can't. The next thing is that the machine stores more things than you. So you want to compete against memory, you're gonna lose. You had to compete with intuition. That is something machine have not mastered yet. But machine is also learning more of human being. They have this term called machine learning. Machine learning is the machine equivalent of experience. That means you talk to the machine 100 times, they learn 100 things. 1,000 times, they learn 1,000. And after a while, they learn more than you. And that is how the Google machine, Alpha, AlphaGo, beats the world number one player in Weiqi because they learn from human being. And you know what's the scary thing about machine? 2 years later, AlphaGo retired because Google say we beat the best of human being. We retire lah. We know there's no need for us to be around. 2 years later, they develop the next version, and they bring out the first version, go and play with the second version. So two machines playing with each other. So AlphaGo, first one, beat human being 4-1 game. 2 years later, these two machines play 100 games. Guess what's the score?
No
The
clue.
machine win 100 game. The old machine wins 0. So the new machine compressed 2,500 years of wisdom into 40 minutes of learning. And that's how fast machine can learn. So instead of competing with machine, let's learn how to program this guy. Then you can survive. Because you look at PSA, the crane driver, PSA. Okay, we talk about so many things. We talk about PSA. PSA has 256 crane drivers before innovation, all this. Right now, have you ever discovered the port is so quiet? And how many crane drivers left? Can you guess how many crane drivers are now left?
Lesser?
Give me a number. It used to be 256.
Probably less than half.
Less than half.
The truth is only 16.
Wow, that's very little.
And
Yeah.
these guys are all sitting in aircon room, controlling each of them, controlling like 20 machines, 20 cranes. Yeah. They just let the crane work automatic. If the crane got problem, then they manually override.
But it's actually, you see, technology is moving so fast. It's like, today I learned this program, okay, but I may forgo the others. So how to justify which one is the correct?
So question, right? For us guys who have been to army, we had this solution. The army is not going to wait for a soldier just because he hasn't packed his full pack. When the army going to move, everybody move. They don't care whether you pack or pack, right? So how can you be prepared? Is constantly ask your friend, hey, what are we going to do now? Hey, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do next? Must always ask around. The problem is that a lot of us, especially Asian, we like to operate alone. We never check with our buddies, never have a mastermind group, and that is very bad. And we always stick to people of our own kind, We should people of not our kind, but they can give us enough. They can ask us a stupid question of what we are doing and open our eyes. That is what we need. So I got no answer to your question, but I can only give you an analogy.
Yeah, it's a good thought. Yeah, I always believe that you must have buddy. You must someone that you can learn from as well. Or
Buddy, you must have a mastermind group.
yeah.
Mastermind group. So like maybe the 3 ladies here, you can form mastermind group. And I always think that our brand group, right, has a few levels. On top, at the very top, is our mentor. You look up to him, mentor. Next level is the coaches. He only interested in your performance. That's it. He can be hired. When your performance is there, no longer needed. Third level is the mastermind group. Are your peers. You learn from each other. You challenge each other. Next level is your advocates. People who love you will always look out for opportunities for you. Below advocates are your friends. People who, whatever nonsense you say, they say good. Right?
You never learn. You're probably unable to learn from them.
A lot of people have a lot of friends, but they don't have mastermind group. And that is dangerous. What is lower than friends? They are your friends, ordinary passerby. Hi, bye, And on Facebook, 5,000 friends, but you don't know 4,900 of them. You only know. What is below friends? Your frenemies. These are who are actually your enemies. Okay, so many levels of people, and I think mastermind group is very crucial. Have about 5 to 8 of them. I live by this principle. I have a 1, 2, 3, 4 principle. I must have twice as many coaches as mentor, 3 times as many mentors, 3 times as many mastermind group. So I have a pyramid. That's why I call it a pyramid. Okay, bottom of pyramid does nothing for you. It's always the top.
Probably popular in foreign countries, to have probably a mentor or coach. But I realized that in Asia, it's not popular. We literally will just find a friend and ask, or maybe our senior, and we'll ask them certain questions. But it's never get to a success by to what you have mentioned, that pyramid.
A mentor is a very sacred relationship. I think a mentor is someone you highly respect. He's usually an older person. He can see the horizon. He loves you. You love the person. He don't need any money from you. If anybody in the world say I need to charge you money for being a mentor, please run far, far away from me. Sacred job. Mentor.
It's a kind of relationship, right?
Mentoring is this person sowing his life on your life. But he's not offended even if you don't take his advice. That is why it's so precious. You get angry with him, he don't get angry with you. He wants to have the best for you and he can see your future. A coach is different. So a mentor is for your professional development. A coach is for your performance only.
Yeah.
So you must always get this right, So a lot of people are confused. These two. Of course, your mentor would want to be your advocate. Obvious, right? So
Yep.
it's about the only dual role that I see. A mentor will never join you for mastermind group because because you can contribute to his life mostly. He's contributing to your life. So your mastermind group should be people at your level, maybe around the same, but you can sharpen your sword. So maybe people don't look at it so arbitrary, but I do. I know who are my mentors. I know who are my coaches. I know who are my mastermind group. These are people I always go to. I don't go to anybody else. Okay, and I know who are my advocates. I actually know different levels. Yeah, I even put it in my book, my latest book on a personal branding. Because
Oh, what is the latest book that we can enjoy it?
you need these few people to guide you. Yeah, I give example, and this one has to do with how I actually start. I I tell you what this mentor did to me. I tell you, 1 year after becoming a trainer, I had an opportunity to go China, Suzhou for training. So I speak mainly English those days and Chinese I'm new, right? So I go to China and do a bilingual delivery for 2 days. He will sit behind the class. He will keep writing notes as I talk, as I train. During break time, everybody happy, go for break. Right? He'll come with a long list. Andrew, these are 20 things you didn't do right during the first part of the day. Can you sort it out? Oh, I have to go through it. I have to mentally adjust. After the break, I got no break lah because I go through it. Right? Then I go to improve. Right? Lunchtime, he come to me again. Okay, very good. Half of the list, you improve. But now I discover another 20, which I see now. You better sort it out after lunch. Afternoon tea break, another list. To end of the day, another list. The next day, break, another list, another list, and they keep doing to me. I tell you, a normal person will have broken down. You are constantly giving, you are constantly receiving very negative feedback. Nothing positive. Positive, he don't say. He said don't need to say. Okay, but I can understand where he's coming from because he's a perfectionist. I can take it, but that helps me to grow very fast.
Mm.
If you have someone who sayang you a lot, or if you sayang yourself, then you're not going to grow fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be hard on yourself because no one will be hard on you, right?
Yeah.
Even if you pay them, they won't be hard on you. You're the client. How dare they be hard
Yeah.
on you?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no one. So sometimes a coach become not a coach, but a coach become a listening ear. A coach did not do the job of a coach because after a while, the client is important. You want to please the client. We should we should remember what is our role. So when I think that this client is not really the one I want to serve, I will walk away. Don't go for something because you want the business. However big the job is, it's not worth it.
Now, how are you going to reject them? I'm just curious. How are you going to reject people that you know that they are laid back, they're not willing to learn. They just want to hire you.
If they keep asking you to refine a proposal, there will be a time I will not come back to them with another version of proposal. After 4 rounds, it's like that. You know the pattern. And you know what? After 2 weeks, they didn't call you. Hey, what happened to the version 5? You know already. He doesn't care about you, right? He doesn't care about you. Remember, a client-vendor relationship is two-way. It's just like a relationship. Two must give together. The person who serve must be happy serving. The one who is being served must be happy being served.
Mm.
If I serve you, you're not happy, then it's not going to work, right? Yeah, it's not going to work. So I know, I just don't waste time. It may be a bit polarizing, but if you're just out, just needing your job or just needing your business, don't try that. You are not, you are not going to get a lot of customers. So when you start, just take any customer and then you'll discover that there are only certain customers that always come to you. Yeah. Just going to the gym, don't go and think about cutting first. Go and build mass.
Yeah.
Mm. So thank you very much for having me for 15 minutes. I was quite, now it's 10:20.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions? Anyone from Facebook have any questions?
Everybody watching the election rally.
Like me.
Got that many Facebook live, no, tonight, everywhere.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's quite awesome. So I think at the end of the day,
yeah. Whoever have any questions can post. Yeah, maybe end of the day, or you can replay. I have one more questions, Andrew. I guess because sometimes we have fear inside us. We have fear in terms of, we want to compete, but we don't know how to, and we kind of lost. Then how will we be able to know whether it's actually a personal issue or because the knowledge of business is not there?
actually, there are a few things I wish to address in your question. Thanks for the question. Very good question. I think fear is always good in our life. Always good. Even now, I still have a little bit of fear here and there. Before I go to a new place, I go up to stage. I always think, will people like what I say? Will they accept me? When all of them are Angmo, I was in Russia, I was in US, I was in London, I was the MC for the entire conference and I'm also a speaker. I'll be thinking, do they understand my English? There's always fear, right? There's always fear. But fear is good. Can you imagine you have no fear? I know what's going to happen. I can predict. Well, life will be so boring. So fear is good. That's number one. Number two is when you have too much fear, it's probably that you are overthinking. Why not try another way? You do first, then you think later. Because when you think, you never do it. Because it's the thinking that gives you the fear. When you start to act, that fear become a lesson. So failure is never failure, it's always lessons, right? That's why you're success. You don't want your success. Success is the reward of taking a break when you have learned your lesson. No one has ever defined success this way, right? Success is actually the break given to you because you have learned your lesson.
And the fear also can create into the competency between, how to justify, whether it's your own personal problem or because you can't cope with the business or the way of your creative is different from others.
I always feel that human beings are much more capable than what we imagine to be. You never imagine how much strength you have until you meet a crisis. So maybe sometimes we don't have breakthrough, right? It's because we're not desperate enough. There's still money in the bank. When you have no money in the bank, you need to bring food to the table. You will be very, very, very creative, very, very chiong. You're very piawan. And that is why a lot of people, after 10 years in a business, they are successful already. They become slack. This phrase, this one I must say, out of every 100 people that can survive calamities, there may be only one person that can survive prosperity. It means what? No? Everyone will be better when it is hard times. You seldom heard people wow suddenly depressed forever because it goes through a hard time. God love but very few. They usually bounce back very, very, very well. But when life is good, your true colors will show. When you're very relaxed, the way you treat people, you're gonna show. So success cannot be handled by a lot of people, and that's why not many people can have success. Because if a lot of people are successful, this world will have a lot of trouble. Yes, a lot of people cannot handle success. So unless and until you are ready to handle success, then you'll be successful. So you want to handle success, learn to handle lessons. I didn't say failures, right? So you gotta fail a lot and fail fast. When you
And
start,
pick up fast.
make all the mistake you want. Would you rather make the mistake when you are famous, then you make a very rookie mistake, or you want to make all the mistake now? Of course now,
Yeah,
right?
precisely.
Yeah, now you make one mistake, you're right. It's okay. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Only money, nobody cares.
Yeah, just like baby. when they start to learn to walk, people will just hold her up, hold him up. Yeah, but we are grown to adult to say that you are old enough to actually walk. Why should we hold you?
Yeah. Yeah. So just go out there and make all the mistakes you want. Yeah. If not now, then when? Always tell yourself, if not now, then when? Right? And you know what? We are every day we are exchanging life, our own life with opportunity. Yeah. You know, last time we were younger, all of us 20 years ago, right? We go party, we can sleep only 2 hours, no? Party until 4 o'clock, and wake up 6 o'clock, go to work. Now you party, you need 2 weeks to recover. God,
There is a question from Facebook.
yeah.
What's your view on who there wins?
What's my view on who dares win? I'm not sure whether when someone is daring, he always win. But when someone is daring, he will let other people around him wiser, right? So I give example lah. If 5 of us are in the woods, we come across a snake. We don't know whether this snake poisons or not. So I said, I go and try lah. I cannot bitten, I die. So I daring, right? But I didn't win, but actually 4 of you become wiser. So yes, there's some winning, but the person may not be the person who dares to try something. He may not be a winner. So, but of course, in the tech world, there's a saying that it's always better to be first than to be better. If you're the first one, they'll remember you, right? Yeah. But it's no one being the first one, and then you're not there to see the fruit of success. So I don't know what this person really means, who dares win, but I think
But to me, will be more likely, at least measure the risk factor.
I think I think daring is about the command of fear, not the essence of fear. The command of fear is very important. We all have fear, but we have to command. We have to take command of it. So I had a stroke 1.5 years ago. I never think that I will be paralyzed. But although half body cannot move, really cannot move,
Yeah.
I tell myself I will recover. And I even tell the doctor says 6 weeks, 6 months at least, 6 months at least. And he said in a very nice way. He said, Mr. Chow, we all understand any stroke patient is always a shock. With good therapy, he said, with good therapy, you can recover in 6 months. You could recover in 6 months. So my answer to him was very funny. I think he was shocked also. I told him, doctor, I'm very busy. I cannot afford 6 months. How about 1 month? He laughed. And then he said, maybe miracles do happen. That means he didn't believe me. So I said, okay, fine, discharge me. I do my own therapy. So I buy a lot of my stress ball, pulley, and I buy the biggest marker I can find, the big one, tip it out, hold the pen like this, and rewrite because I lost the whole writing skill. I can't even type. 33 days later, I went back to see him. CAT scan, the blood clot was gone. The blood clot was so big, scary. It's like a bullet went through the brain. Don't know where the blood goes. And his remark was this: I think you don't have to come back anymore.
Wow.
There's no operation, no medication, no therapy, entirely by willpower.
The
Yeah.
determination.
Yes. So I never ever tell myself that I will. If I listen to doctor, I'm finished because when you say out, oh yeah, 6 months, okay, you know what? You're commanding your cell, your body to obey 6 months. Your body will say, boss say 6 months, let's time ourselves to recover in 6 months. You know why I take 1 month? Because I say 1 month. That's how body listen to me. Oh, 1 month, okay, 1 month, 1 month. I should say 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I know of someone who recover in 4 days. 1 month is nothing. So if anybody out there, your parents had a stroke, Your job is not to make life easy and put him at the center of the living room, facing the TV. Right hand side the fridge, left hand side is whatever. You are spoiling your parents. Whoever that you are caring, don't make life easy. Buy a stress ball and make sure this person will help every time when you look at him. That's how you get healed.
Precisely.
Yeah, I was so angry one time. I got this agent after listening to my story. He asked me to speak to his father. His father is only 1 year older than me. When I went to his house, I scolded him because that was what I see. He bought the hospital bed and they pushed his father to the center of the home, facing the TV.
Mm.
And then he told me he got a stress ball. I said, show me a stress ball. He took out from the drawer. He was looking for it. No? Obviously, he didn't use it. He bring out, what is it? It was a toy by the kids. No? You know, those are no resistance one. That's not a stress ball. I say, this is a rubber thingy. How can you treat your father like this and expect him to recover? And now after 2 years, you want me to speak to him, thinking that I can give some spiritual healing power to him to recover? It doesn't happen that way. No way. I say every 6 months, your rate of recovery is divided by half. You know that? That is true. Yeah. So if 1 year you don't recover, your chances become 25%.
Well done. Thank you, Andrew. We have a good time with you.
Thank you.
And in fact, you share a lot of thoughts about the future. I think I have to learn more technology. Should I call you more frequent?
I think you should know more people who know more technology. Then you learn faster.
Precisely. Yes. You can recommend to us as well. I would love to hear who are those people that we can actually talk to, or I can invite them to the show as well.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you, Jessie. And William too. Yeah. The coming Sunday will be Ivy, our guest. She will share about the body. And today actually is quite good. At least we learned, we heard about why we need a coach or mentor or, a buddy. So Ivy will share more upon this. Okay. Yeah. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.